Alright, I don't know how good this is gonna come out on this phone, but I've had a bunch of people ask me how to make how I'm doing my cat sets where I trap in the mountains. This is mainly the one I use. The sun's kind of messing it up. You can't really see the sides of the trench, but it's sheared. Oh, hang on, let's see if I can. You can't really tell. But anyway, the sides over here are sheared straight down. And from the tape measure, which would be my hole, is to the trap pan, I think it's 18 inches. But ideally, usually when I run this, I'll bed the exact same trap here, directly in front of that one. That way you got the whole chute covered in case for some odd reason he would get past the first trap. But other than that, this is basically how I do it. For those of you wondering, that's a Sleepy Creek number 3 with the electrical box cover on the pan. I just got it riveted to there because I ain't got a welder. But I mean, cats aren't hard to catch. It's just trying to control them once they get to your set is usually the problem. Now, as far as like a flag, well, before I get to that, once I get my 2 traps bedded, I'll go ahead and just cover them with peat moss. Take the peat moss all the way to the top of the jaws and cover the pan. And I'll usually sift usually about a 1/2 inch of dirt at the minimum over top of them. Pack them down real good, and I always want to pack this down really good because you want him to approach firm ground. Here are the lures that I use. I use Cat Collector on all my cat sets, and I'm a firm believer in having some kind of smell of a cat. So I use Andy Weezer's cat urine, and most of the time Locklear's musky. They really seem to respond good to that. His Enrager works well too if you want something with castor in it back here in your hole. And I run the booty call. It's just a Bobcat gland. But as far as the flag, hang on, let me grab it here. I'm actually in the yard. I'm not out on my line. Okay, this is my flag. All it is just well, you can probably see it good now. I'm out of the sun. It's just 2 turkey feathers, basically just wired together with fishing swivel at the top. Swiveled at the top. That way it can, swivel around and turn. And this is just 2 small pieces of wire that I took a drill and just fused, turned them together. And I'll hang this usually a few feet directly out in front of my set. That's kind of a critical thing because it's however your cat first sees the set, that's how he's going to approach it. So you always want to, well, I always put it directly out in front. Let's see, what else did I forget? Other than that, guys, that's pretty much it. Now, if you're in a state where, like, you're only allowed to use, say, like a 5 or 5.5 inch jaw trap, you can use 550s and just run them the same way. Just put one. I like mine 18 inches. Well, 15 to 18, depending on the ground. The ground's going to dictate that. There's a big root right over here, so I couldn't really mess with this too much. But ideally, you'd put one further back and maybe another one at about a foot just in case you got past your first trap. But any more questions, I'll try to do a little bit better video where I'm not out in the sun when I'm actually out in the woods trapping. But let me know what you guys think.